Welcome back to the Flip Flop Fab Shop. Today we're going to be doing something to the GS430. My driver's side, when you turn hard right, there's creaking, squealing. It sounds terrible. I did the lower ball joints like a year and a half ago or something. But it's weird. It's like when I turn, I have popping noises, but it's also like, it's not when you turn. It's like if you keep the wheel in one spot, it still makes the noise. It's like something's spinning, but it also sounds like the lower ball joint, and I don't want to chance the lower ball joint. So I'll turn right and let you guys hear it. And I'm gonna jack it up, and it could be this pad, the pads over here, doing something weird. So it could have been the pads. It could have been the tie rod end. It could have been the upper ball joint. So that's kind of what I was going with that. I was trying to troubleshoot everything to make sure it was a lower ball joint, but I'm not sure, so we gotta figure that out. I'm gonna turn hard right. Okay. Hear that? It doesn't do it in reverse. Sounds awful. Alright, I'm gonna jack it up. So the best way to do this is to take your ABS, your wheel speed sensor, take it out. Because the first time I did it, I left it in, and when I undid the tie rod in down here, this is full swivel, and I actually tore the wire. Then I had to get a new wheel speed sensor. You can fix them by rewiring them and splicing them, but I didn't want to deal with all that. So, yeah, take that out first step. It's a 10mm wheel speed sensor up here, hang it up there. Then you want to turn if you're working on the passenger side, you'll turn the wheel to the left. If you're working on, you just want to turn whatever side you're working on in. All right, next step, you're going to take these out. If you don't have roll center adjuster, you're gonna have, what size are they? 18, something like that, 19. But I have some roll center adjusters, so I'll have different hardware. And then you're gonna undo this. That's a 21. So we're gonna break all these three loose, and then we'll go to the tie rod end. This is a, what is it? HW10, whatever that means. Now let's do this ball joint. Tie rod in. Get the cotter pin off. All right, so tie rod end's a 19. See if I can break this loose. Oh, man. Need to make that tighter next time. Hopefully I can get this off without too much trouble. I need a brass hammer. All right, I'm gonna whack it a few times with the brass hammer on the actual ball joint. There it goes. Yeah, this tie rod end just seems to have a busted boot. Yeah. It doesn't, it's not crunchy in there. Still has good grease in there. Yeah, it's still got plenty of strength on it. Just has junk boots on it. So I don't think those are bad. Okay, move that out of the way. All right, now you're ready to zip off these 3 bolts. All right, there's one. Might need an extension. Oh, we got it. And these are some beefy, these are 12.9 grade. Pretty beefy things. All right. Now this whole assembly comes up. Make sure you don't torque your brake line. My RCA's off. My ball joint. Here's my other roll center adjuster. Alright, let's look at this ball joint. Maybe that'll stay there. And we're just gonna set it there. Okay. Check this guy out. I don't know. But I also feel like there's no grease in here. I think it's dry. It's got some resistance, but I don't know. This top nut off for the upper ball joint. And that's tight too. And also this is a 17, a cotter pin and a 17. And then I whacked it with the brass hammer. That ball joint's tight too. So tight, even though it has a ripped boot. And I mean, the lower ball joint seems pretty tight, but that's a common issue for this car. So if I'm going to replace anything, it's going to be that. And I'm also going to try to tighten these bolts, because I've had it happen where if these aren't tight enough, they do make a clunk noise. So I'm going to tighten those 2 bolts, and maybe run to AutoZone. This is a Duralast brand, and I bought them for like $40 a piece, like a year and a half ago. And now they're like $85. And I mean, honestly, it's a pretty good ball joint, I think. So, and they have a warranty, lifetime warranty or whatever. So I'm gonna take it back to there probably once I get this back together. And pro tip: don't buy the Duralast ball joint, and don't buy anything from any auto parts store. Get them from Rock Auto. Get the OEM Lexus ones. Get Moog, Mevotech. Because like 4 days after I did this video, my driver's side ball joint started clicking again. So now I gotta redo it, and I'm gonna put like some greasable Mevotechs in them. So yeah, don't cheap out on this. Goes up. Got my new ball joint here. You're gonna want to clean the top of this. Just make sure there's no gunk on there. And if you live kind of in a rusty area, you're probably gonna want to put anti-seize on here, on the actual ball joint, and on the bolts you use to install it. All right, so this is kind of like a balancing challenge here. Because you got to put this one on. Okay, that's there. You want to put your nut on. Okay. So for now, we're just gonna snug this up. I'm gonna take a torque wrench to once we get the rest of this back together. Okay, we'll call that good for now. Okay, now for the roll center adjusters, I'm gonna set them on top of these little dowel pins. Make sure they're seated. Just spin them around a few times. And then you gotta line them up with the top. I had to rotate the ball joint this way more. So I lined it up, got the bolts in a little bit. I'm just gonna tighten those up. There's still a little gap between the bolt, the hub, and the RCA. I'm gonna use my impact. All right, so I put the roll center adjuster bolts in, or the outside bolts in just a little bit. Then I torqued this to 119 foot-pounds. And now, in order to tighten these up to, the RCA kit I bought, it says 87 foot-pounds. So I'm doing 87 foot-pounds. I don't know what the actual car calls for. But in order to tighten these, you need to put your tie rod end on. Okay. All right. Now that the tie rod's on, we can torque the outside bulb joint bolts. Again, I'm doing 87. The car, I think the car says 83, but I'm not, don't quote me on that. All right. Okay. Now I'm going to go in the car and turn the wheel a couple times, just make sure everything's working like it should. All right, now put your cotter pin in for your lower bolt. Cotter pin's in. Now put your wheel on, then go take it for a spin. All right, so I'm doing the, well, I'll start off with, I did the driver's side yesterday. Everything was good. Drove it to the gas station, put gas in it, and then I turn left, not right this time. I turn left into the neighborhood, well, into my driveway, and I hear coming from the passenger side. So here we are, got this side out, and I got it jacked up, parts, everything in like 25 minutes. It's out. Now I gotta go to AutoZone and get a new one. So yep. In the last few steps, make sure you put your ABS sensor in. And it's easy when you're working on your car, and especially in this situation when you're just moving everything around on the rotor. You'll probably get some grease on the rotor, so make sure you spray them off with brake clean on the front and back side before you put it together. And then you want to torque your lug nuts down to 76 foot-pounds on the the second gen GS. I believe it's 76 foot-pounds. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick. Oh, I didn't reset my torque wrench. 76. Alright, that's all she wrote right there. Just took it on a little drive. Turned full lock to the left, full lock to the right. Drove about a mile and a half. Didn't make any weird noises or anything. So I think we're good to go. And it's a good idea to probably log the mileage, the date, all that. Just write it down, put it in your phone, put it in the glove box, just something. It's always nice to know that kind of stuff. It's also probably not a bad idea to get an alignment. Man, look at that. Look at that rig. Thanks for watching.